Alright, good morning, afternoon, or evening everyone. Today I'm going to be covering the Tier 8 premium cruiser, the Belfast 43, the British light cruiser, of course. So this is for the Fresh Look series. Like I said, if you want to see a ship in the next one, please do let me know in the comments. But anyway, here we are with the Belfast, of course. This isn't the original Belfast. The original Belfast is, of course, the Tier 7 one, which is here. Which if you do want to see a video on that in the future, I totally can make one. But right now I'm making it for the Belfast 43 because the Belfast 43 is currently available. So let's start off with the armor layout. Here we have a 16mm nose at 19mm side here, 19mm deck. We have a slight 51mm deck here, 19 again, and then 16. And then if we want to take a look at what the Citadel looks like, here is what the Citadel looks like. So sure, it's very low, but it still is huge, and it does sit slightly above the water, so you do have to be careful about getting citadeled, because it's quite easy in such a cruiser. But let's look at our commander build. We have Last Stand, Priority Target, Superintendent, Survivability Expert, Concealment Expert, Radio Location, Adrenaline Rush, and Grease the Gears. And in terms of our equipment, we have Concealment System Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1. Here I have Engine Room Protection, but in reality you should have Hydro or Surveillance Radar. And then I have Main Armaments Mod 1. So let's take a look at the Camouflage first. So for the Belfast, you have the stock. This one is what it looks like, but you also have the alternate, which looks like this, I guess, which is a bit different, the colors. And then you also have this this Irish one, which is very Irish, one might say. Maybe it's very green and gold, so there you go. But let's go back to the normal one because I prefer the normal one. Also, I'm gonna cover the ship characteristics now, so if you want to skip to the game, I'll keep the video chapter as usual, guys, so you can totally skip that part. But anyway, for ship characteristics, here we have survivability 42,000 HP with a 4% torpedo protection reduction or whatever. But that's pretty much nothing, so try to not take torps if possible. We have 42k HP with Survivability Expert. And we have a 152mm guns. We have 10-second reload on them, which, as you know, is actually slower than the Tier 7 Belfast. If we take a look at the Tier 7 Belfast reload, that's actually, I believe, 7.5. There you go. So it is 2.5 seconds faster on the Tier 7. But you get improved penetration on this one. I mean, it's not improved penetration. It's just Tier 8 light cruisers get 30mm pen. Tier 7 light cruisers get 25mm pen. So it's with the same gun caliber. That's just how it is. We talked about it in the Lazo video, but here it is, mentioning it again. You get 30mm of HE pen. Alpha's 2.4k. You have some AP as well, whatever. And yeah, your range is 15.4 kilometers, so nothing too crazy. You have torps, 8 km torps, which is more than the other Belfast, but these torps are pretty much just 3 per side, so it's not gonna one-shot anything, but it will help you in maybe a random situation, for example. Depth charges, they're ship-based, unfortunately, so you do have to drive over the submarine to deal with anything. A defense, questionable. Maximum speed, 34 knots, isn't the slowest, isn't the fastest either, pretty standard. You obviously have British acceleration, which is super nice because you can accelerate really fast. Your turning circle radius is 680, and your rudder shift time is 7.9. That's with the rudder shift module. Your concealment, which is really good actually for Tier 8, is 8.9 kilometers, which is really nice. And in terms of your consumables, you have DCP, of course, Hydro, Smoke, and Radar. You have Smoke and Radar. You could obviously mount Fighter if you really so wish, but I don't recommend mounting Fighter over the Radar. I think the Radar is more useful. The Radar is 9 kilometers, not 10. Keep that in mind. So you do have shorter range Radar than Edinburgh. Plus, you don't have the super heal Edinburgh gives you because, well, you have Smoke and Radar at the same time. And, of course, the Smoke isn't a standard British cruiser smoke. It's a standard British destroyer smoke. So it's a bit different. It'll only last around 40 seconds. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. So yeah, let's go into a game. Alright, so here we are on Islands of Ice. Tier 9 matchmaking, so not too bad, honestly. We have some tier 7s, we have some tier 9s, we have some tier 8s. Pretty average matchmaking, to be honest. You obviously could get tier 10s, you obviously could get tier 6s. But here we are. We're going to be going towards the C cap here, if possible. And we'll see what we can do. But yes. Alright, so here we actually got laid a smoke by our Akatsuki, our very nice Akatsuki player. So we're going to be complimenting him instantly. We didn't even ask him for it. Well, he asked me if I wanted smoke, so I'm like, sure, just closer to the enemy. And he did actually indeed lay it, so I have to give him a compliment there for sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Akatsuki. From today is random match. We do have radar on there, Akatsuki, but we don't really have shots on him right now. So I don't really want to go out too much here. I am going to use Hydro because he probably did torp in our general direction. So we're going to have to be a bit careful in that regard. Right now, what we're going to be doing is just trying to farm this Siegfried as much as we can, if possible. Of course, when this smoke runs out, we have our smoke available, which is super nice and comfortable to use. We're just trying to set a fire on this guy. Standard, pretty much standard light cruiser gameplay, guys. Try to light fires. We talked about it in the Lazo video. Try to light fires so you can actually do some damage. We got a fire there. Of course, this has a 10% fire chance, which is actually a lower fire chance than Lazo. Lazo has a 14% fire chance. To keep that in mind. I believe Lazo has a 9-second reload, so it also has a quicker reload. But remember, you don't get the 30mm pen you do, like you do on this. We got a second fire, which is super nice. We're going to be moving towards the wide angle here. Why are we moving wider and wider? We want to try to open up on the Soyuz if possible. Cautiously, cautiously. So we're going to smoke up here so we minimize our damage taken. I could radar the Akatsuki so we see what he's doing. He is sailing this general direction towards our Akatsuki. We get one shot on him before he goes behind the island. We only did 1k, but we broke an engine. He's gonna leave the cap, which means we're probably gonna get the cap for free here, to be honest. So let's just try to... Can I actually shoot it again? Yes, I think so. Barely, but yes. He's gonna leave radar range any second now. Also, my radar is out. Gonna get one more shot into him. And then we're gonna switch back to the Soyuz. Soyuz is, I believe he's reversing slowly. I'm just gonna output as much damage as I can on him. We just need those fires, guys. Like I said, the fires will actually do a lot of damage if we do end up laying them, which is the biggest question mark right now. Will we lay a fire on the Soyuz? I hope we do. But like I said, it will help us a lot in this engagement. He is accelerating, it seems. He's gonna be moving forward for sure. Yep. I probably shouldn't be shooting like front tires and back tires. I should probably sync them up. There's no real difference, really and truly, but just for comfort for the ears, I guess, more like. Let's sync them up. Let's sync them up. Clueless. We couldn't get a fire in the Soyuz, even though we hit him quite a fair amount of times, I would say, like 40 times. Couldn't lay a fire on him. Someone else does, though. Good for them. This is where one would question, should you take IFHE or not? If you're not getting any fires and you want IFHE, you can totally take it, because you can pen the nose and stern of the Soyuz instead. But obviously, if you aim for superstructure, that doesn't matter. But obviously, also, superstructures do saturate very quickly, so to keep that in mind. I think the Soyuz will die over time. It will take 10 years to kill one Soyuz, but he will die for sure. He is caught in front of 5 of us. Question is, how long will he live? Mr. Comments section. 404. Damage not found. Please give me some damage. So yeah, as you can tell, the reload is quite not good on a light cruiser. 10 seconds on this one, guys. Tier 7 Belfast, to me at least, feels way more comfortable to play. I mean, it is stronger, obviously, tier for tier as well. but I would rather play tier 7 Belfast than tier 8 Belfast. Sure, the 30mm pen is really useful, but if you mount IFHE on tier 7 Belfast, you get that 30mm pen anyway. Obviously, you have to take down your fire chance. Plus, you can also play tier 7 Belfast without IFHE, retain the fire chance. You can still pen 25, which is same tier cruisers, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's all about, to me, it's all about the reload on the tier 7 one. It's 7.5 seconds versus 10 seconds. It's just a bit weird to me, because this is, well, this is tier 8, and tier 7 Belfast is tier 7. And the tier 7 is, well, better, obviously. I don't even think it's just tier for tier. I think it's just better. In a 1v1, I think tier 7 would win. Just because of that quicker reload, right? Because in reality, the pen doesn't matter because both these ships have, well, bad armor. So the tier 7 would definitely win in a 1v1. I'm gonna try cross the map here. It might take us a while, but I want to save my damage. There are a lot of ships left, so we can actually farm quite a lot of damage. I'm just gonna skip this part so I don't have to sail around and do nothing, I guess. Alright. So we're kind of in range now. We can actually play the game again. We should be able to output some damage here. We crossed the map, obviously. We're going towards the B cap. There's one destroyer left. It's a Luca Tarigo. I mean, it's not really a wonderful destroyer in terms of, like, cap contesting ability. Especially against my radar. I don't think he's going to do much, to be honest. So, I think we're just quite chilling right now, to be honest with you. We're just going to output damage, like I said, 100 times. We're going to try output some damage. And then, well, after we output the damage, we'll be pretty fine, I would say. Because, obviously, with damage comes happiness, guys. And rainbows and happiness and everything. So, sunshine and everything. So. Damage solves all our problems, guys. Clearly. All our problems in life are solved when we reach our average damage. Izumo will die very quickly, actually, here. We're trying to use this island so we're dark without having to need to use a smoke, but I think we're kind of messing it up here because we are going to reduce our DPM. So he's actually dead anyway, so let's go for the hipper, to be honest. And we can pen the hipper everywhere, which is kind of what you want to do. This ship is pen, because the fires don't seem to be getting set. And the thing is, if that's the case, honestly, IFHE might be worth taking, to be honest. But against cruisers, this thing can do quite decently, because it pens them pretty much everywhere at this tier. Almost, I would say. Maybe there's some cruisers with more armor, but for the most part, like except for like Congress or something, you can pen them pretty much everywhere. Maybe there's another one, but like I said, you can pen cruisers everywhere, so you can output quite a lot of damage to them, which is super nice. Obviously, you could take IFHE and do that to battleships as well, but there are some battleships with armor so high that even with IFHE, you're not gonna pen their deck armor or something, but you can still pen their superstructure, nose, and stern. There's also a Colorado on the enemy team, which obviously we do pen everywhere without IFHE because he has less armor, because he's a tier 7 battleship. That's super nice. But in this case, we have to aim for superstructures on this Alabama, because that's where we're going to be outputting damage. Did my smoke run out? Oh, it did. Ooh, scary. So we're still on full HP, by the way. Just want to let you know. And we have 110k damage. The reason here is, well, we've been hiding pretty well. We've been using our smokes and our Akatsuki smoke ones. And, obviously, we haven't really had to shoot in the open. Now, obviously, there's going to be games where there's going to be radars. You have to deal with radars. There's going to be games where, you know, there's going to be people who are going to run at you and spot you and stuff like this. But in this match, for example, this was a pretty easy showcase of, well, you can use the smokes and islands and teammate smokes to your advantage, in where you can just pretty much minimize your damage risk and, well, get quite a lot of damage. I think 120k is still a decent game, to be honest. It's not bad, I would say. It's not like a crazy game, but that's the thing with this series, guys. I always play one game and then I'll show you that game pretty much live commentary on YouTube. So this is what we got. I must say, we did get Confederate, which is super nice. We're definitely not going to get Dreadnought or anything. As you know, Dreadnought, we need to take damage. Dreadnought's actually impossible in this cruiser because, well, you need a heal. Maybe in arms race you can get it, but in just like a normal game like this, you cannot get Dreadnought. Sorry. Go this way. I think the game is over though, so I might skip till the end. Hello, what a situation we found ourselves in, chats or comments. Here we are, Atago and Luca Tarigo at the same time. Alright, I'm not gonna radar yet. I want to try and get a shot on him, a cheeky shot on him. But we obviously should have used AP on the Atago, but, well, he kind of just popped up. We're gonna radar the Tarigo here, which means we do get to spot him, and therefore we should be able to not kill him probably, because our team's probably gonna end up killing him here. We put him down to 200 HP, but we should be able to damage him, which we did already. And now our team finishes off. That's okay, because the Akatsuki gave us a smoke. Very nice person. Alright, let's check the score. Alright, so for the score, we ended up doing 132,000 damage, 341 shell hits, 1 kill, 2 incaps, and 7 fires. We also got a Confederate, which is pretty cool. Team score, we got 2nd place on the team. We're going to be complimenting our Bayard. Obviously, we already complimented our Akatsuki. Thank you for the smoke, Mr. Akatsuki, at the start of the game. In terms of detailed report, got 12k on a Hyper, 32k Siegfried, and some chip damage on each ship. Well, 30k on Soyuz and 20k on Izumo. And then here's the damages on each ship. We did 104k with HE plus 20k, and then we also did 6k with AP. Honestly, we used HE mostly because, well, most things were angled. We did 478,000 credits, 7,000 XP, 800 free XP, and 8.8k Commander XP. In terms of my Commander build, once again, guys, and now I'll talk to you about the first 10 points to take, but let me talk about the whole build. So last stand, priority target, Superintendent, Concealment Expert, Survivability Expert, Adrenaline Rush, and Radio Location, and Grease the Gears. So the first 10 skill points you need to take are Last Stand, Priority Target, Superintendent, and then Concealment Expert. Then you take Adrenaline Rush, then you take Survivability Expert, then it's Radio Location, and then it's Grease the Gears. And then for equipment, you take Concealment System Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1, Engine Room Protection, Main Armaments Mod 1. Also, actually, something you can take instead is, instead of SC first, you take RPF first, and then you take SC. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. And for my statistics in the Belfast, I really haven't played it a lot, guys. It's not a ship I come to play. Honestly, every time I play it, I have quite a good time playing it, to be honest with you. But I just don't play it much. I don't know why. It's just not something that excites me. It's not something I log in to want to play. So I have only 4 games in it. Obviously, I played some in ranked, but 4 games in it, 120k average damage, 75% win rate, but only 4 games. So pretty much sample size is 0. Like I said, I don't really log in to play Belfast ever. So in terms of the armory price, the armory price for the Belfast, if we take a look, tier 8 British cruiser, it is 11,300 doubloons, which puts it at the same price as the Tiger 59, but 11,300 doubloons. In terms of the premium shop price here, it's pretty much the same price, but in cash instead of the doubloons. Whatever. 37 euros 17 cents. There you go. So do I recommend the Belfast 43? Honestly, guys, I don't think I would recommend this ship, even though I think it's quite good, because there are better ships, I think, at tier which can do its job relatively like the same or better. Well, actually, they can't do the exact same job, because the thing this thing has, which is super cool, I guess you can say, is the fact that it has radar and smoke at the same time. So obviously it makes it really easy to play for contests of caps. If you have a destroyer on your team and he's gonna be able to smoke you up, or you can use your own smoke, but the smoke is really short duration. You have that ability to radar and smoke at the same time, which honestly is a really cool thing that it has, and I don't think anything else has it at tier 8, which is really cool. Obviously it's kind of cringe, but no, actually I'm wrong. There's one ship that has a Similar thing, radar, smoke, and heal at the same time. But you don't have Hydro and Tiger. Plus, Tigers doesn't have HE, so if the enemy destroy angles to you, well, GG. In terms of Belfast, obviously, you can deal with it. It's not a bad ship. I have to say, it's not a bad ship. I would still rather play like an Otago over it, or a Mines over it, or a Bayard over it. But in terms of light cruisers, it's actually not a bad one. I think it's actually pretty good. Honestly, when it came out, I didn't like it that much because I thought it was like worse Belfast, you know, it's worse Belfast a tier higher, which is really dumb. Well, in theory it is. In practice, really and truly, it's not that bad because of that improved HE penetration you have. That improved HE penetration really makes it very much playable, even with that worse reload. I don't know, it's not really something I can tell you to get or not to get. I think it's up to you to decide at the end of the day if you really want to get it. If you really like the playstyle of the smoke and radar playstyle, which obviously if you're a destroyer might be a bit annoying, but if you really like that playstyle and you want a ship like that, this is pretty much it. If you enjoyed the gameplay of the video, sure. The guns do feel not crazy, I must say. Maybe it's because I don't have IFHE, but they just don't feel crazy. The fire chance doesn't seem good enough, 10% to not take IFHE, but this build is without IFHE. If you want to fit IFHE into this build, you can either take off radio location, or you take off grease the gears and survivability expert, and you take our IFHE and keep the RPF. But that's always up to you at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the Belfast 43, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know in the comments below if I did miss something, or if you want to mention something else. Try to be nice, obviously, as always. And I'll see you in the next video. No promises what it should be, but there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and big fan, guys.